Scroll through any health feed, and you will inevitably hit a video promising that one specific food will single-handedly cure your joint pain, fix your gut, or clear your brain fog. It is incredibly appealing to believe that tossing a spoonful of exotic powder into your morning smoothie can undo years of metabolic damage. It requires almost zero effort, but promises maximum reward. This chart shows the internet's current favorite healing lineup. The algorithm promises that turmeric, tart cherry, flaxseed, sweet potatoes, and moringa will transform your health. But when we measure these foods against clinical trial dosages, digestion mechanics, and basic biology, the marketing claims fall apart. We are going to stress test these 5 ingredients to see what actually happens when dietary hype meets human physiology. Treating an isolated food like a magic spell ignores the concrete mechanics of how your body absorbs and uses nutrients. The human digestive tract acts as a hostile, destructive tentacle environment designed to break complex structures down into their smallest possible components. To survive that environment, a nutrient relies on bioavailability. Bioavailability is the percentage of an ingested compound that actually makes it through your digestion and enters your bloodstream intact. Turmeric is the textbook example of a bioavailability failure. The active compound responsible for reducing inflammation is called curcumin, but your liver actively flags it as a foreign substance and flushes it out almost immediately. This chart shows the massive gap between microscopic curcumin absorbed from culinary turmeric and the towering clinical dose required to reduce joint pain. Pairing it with piperine and fat shifts this into a deliberate supplement protocol. Flaxseed presents a completely different biological hurdle, a physical barrier. The shell of a whole flaxseed is structurally resilient enough to pass entirely through your stomach acid without breaking down. If you eat them whole, you absorb 0 omega-3s. You must mechanically grind or mill the seeds yourself to crack that hull, and then immediately store them in the cold to stop the exposed oils from rapidly oxidizing and going rancid. Extracting a physiological benefit from turmeric and flaxseed requires deliberate processing and strict dosing, rendering the simple addition promise ineffective. Beyond cellular absorption, we have to calculate the practical dietary cost of these interventions in both calories and cash. Tart cherry juice is heavily promoted as a natural cure for inflammation and poor sleep. Clinical data does show it provides a slight reduction in muscle soreness and a very marginal increase in your body's circulating melatonin. This diagram illustrates the biological trade-off. To get that single drop of extra melatonin, you have to ingest a concentrated spike of liquid calories in sugar right before you go to sleep. Next is moringa powder, frequently marketed as an expensive, nutrient-dense powerhouse. The factual basis for the claim holds up. Gram for gram, raw moringa leaves do possess an exceptionally high concentration of vitamins. This visual compares a standard dose of moringa to regular spinach. Because moringa tastes incredibly bitter, the tiny teaspoon people actually tolerate only yields a 2% bump in daily nutrients. Eating a standard bowl of cheap spinach completely maxes the bar out. Tart cherry and moringa offer a terrible nutritional return on investment. You end up spending heavy calories or high cash for distinctly unoptimized physiological gains. Let's step away from the expensive exotic powders and juices and look instead at a standard grocery staple. Viral videos claim that swapping regular carbohydrates for sweet potatoes will specifically repair your gut lining. It is a fact that sweet potatoes are an excellent source of vitamin A and solid dietary fiber. This diagram shows the gut microbiome reacting to different foods. The bacteria produce the exact same positive energetic reaction, whether they are fed fiber from a sweet potato or fiber from standard broccoli. Hyper-focusing on one specific supercarb overcomplicates your meal planning and distracts from the actual goal of overall dietary diversity. Adding a targeted healing food cannot outcompensate a poor baseline diet. True gut health is driven by broad-spectrum fiber consistency, not by isolating magical ingredients. The modern superfood industry functions as a deliberately confusing labyrinth. It directs your attention toward endless micro-decisions regarding single ingredients. This effort versus impact matrix replaces algorithmic hype. Moringa and flaxseed drop into the high-friction, low-impact quadrant due to mechanical barriers. Tart cherry lands in moderate impact, high friction, because of sugar costs. Sweet potatoes offer low-friction, high-impact baselines. Extracted turmeric yields high impact but stays high friction. If you are an optimization enthusiast with your foundational diet entirely locked in, the precise extraction of turmeric or the daily milling of flax offer viable marginal gains. But if you are just starting to address chronic symptoms, stop chasing the algorithm's expensive superfoods. Reallocate that budget toward cheap, broad-spectrum foundational habits. Consistent, systemic dietary habits drive biological healing, rather than a reliance on 5 isolated ingredients.